Okay, so let's talk about liver support. So even though the liver is not on the hormone questionnaire, as you know by now, this is essential for hormone balance. So for a protocol, you want to consider liver support as part of the protocol. So I included that here. So first of all, what does liver support need to accomplish? It's going to vary from client to client. Aside from a medical test or a bile acids test, it's hard to know exactly what may be happening with the liver. The goal is for your protocols to be such that it ensures the liver can play its role for hormones. There are three things to consider. First of all is nutrition for the liver. This is one of the main reasons the liver does not do its job effectively. Most people consume too little nutrients to allow the liver to do its job. The effect on the liver can vary from person to person. Again, it's going to depend on what they eat and what's in it. The best strategy is to up the level of liver-friendly foods and overall nutrition. And also look at gut health, sleep, and stress, because they can all play a role as to how the liver functions. The second is liver damage. So this is a loose term. It can be anything that's mild to severe. Severe liver damage should have a diagnosis, or it may not even be damaged severely, but it's on its way. So this is usually done with a blood test or other tests that medical doctors can perform. It could include high liver enzymes, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, cirrhosis, fibrosis. Like there's a lot of things that could be happening in the liver that can be detected through medical tests. And what you have to understand is they are what occurs after the fact. They are what occurs after the liver has already been suffering for a while from lack of nutrition or things that specifically damage the liver, like alcohol or medications or whatever. So what you want to do, assuming they don't have a diagnosis of any kind, is look at what people consume. So if they consume alcohol, take meds, this could also show that there's slow liver function before there's a diagnosis. It's not really hard to look at the person's diet and lifestyle and how they live to understand that maybe the liver isn't getting the support they need. Most people, you will see the lack of whole foods in the diet, which means there's a lack of liver-friendly foods, and you're going to see that they may be doing something in their regular lifestyle. And remember, stress falls into this category too. That could be harming how the liver functions. So you want to also look at the diet and lifestyle to see if there's a lot of toxins, because if the liver is constantly trying to detox them out, this is also going to put more pressure on the liver that there may not be sufficient nutrition for, and over time this can also damage the liver. Now, once you are sort of certain that this may be something that needs to be addressed, then you need specific supplements that have been shown to help liver repair, such as milk thistle, black cumin seed, reishi, alpha-lipoic acid. There are going to be obviously more that are discovered, but these are the most well-known, with milk thistle being the one that's been researched the most. So you can find all kinds of information about milk thistle. And then you also want to have a strategy for upping the nutrients for the liver just to help it respond and do its job better. And then the third consideration is detoxification. So most practitioners go to a liver detox right away. This is a mistake. People can react badly to detoxes, and that you have to be sure they can handle it. So if a person has the possibility of a lot of toxins in their body, then a cleanse can be helpful. I'm not saying don't ever do a liver cleanse. It's just not something you go to first. And when you're doing liver work, a detox is not necessarily what you're doing. But I would work on the nutrition for the liver first, and if you can get that improved so that they're having regular support in their diet, I would never do a detox if they weren't doing plenty of liver-friendly food. And then perhaps some repair support is given before they start a cleanse. And you look at gut health, because if the gut health is not good, the toxins may not leave. So remember that gut health is essential to detoxification too. Plus, good gut bacteria also help support phase 1 and phase 2 liver detoxification in the liver. So it is a major helper of the liver, and therefore you want good gut health too. So take some time before you put someone on a liver cleanse, but it's certainly an option if you know that they're doing really well, but they've had years and years of toxins in their system and you have no idea what might be stored in their fat cells. It may be helpful. And I usually just use a liver formula for this. Why reinvent the wheel? The supplement companies have done their job. I've always found them very effective. People do detox on them, so you have to prepare them for that, but I find them really helpful. Okay, so these are the basic vitamins and minerals for the liver. B vitamins, especially choline and inositol. Vitamins C, A, and E. Magnesium, manganese, zinc, iron. And you could do this through food or a multi. This is the easiest way to make sure that they're getting all that they need. I would do a multi if I wasn't sure they were eating as well as they could. You know, clients comply at different levels. Or if I'm trying to aid what they're doing with food in the short term because they've been probably deficient in getting sufficient nutrients. And again, deficiency is a careful word you have to use, because when we say deficient, we don't actually mean they're going to show up on a blood test as deficient. We mean we know they're not supplying enough. They were supplying some so that they live, but they're not supplying enough for total optimal health. So whether or not you recommend a multi is up to you. But if I wasn't going to do a multi and I was trying to do it with food, I would consider a B vitamin supplement alone, especially if Bs are deficient, and they may be because they're water soluble and they're not that easy to get in food. The amounts that are in food are quite small. And then you could do that in the short term until their function is better, and then they probably don't need the B complex. All right, foods. You got your cruciferous vegetables, of course, your calcium deglucarate foods. These are all very helpful for supporting the glucuronidation process, which is the main pathway for getting excess estrogen out, or estrogen out, period. But it also does other toxins, and it does other hormones, so they're just good for detoxification in general. Tomatoes, asparagus, reishi mushroom, black seed oil or black cumin seed, depending on what you want to call it. Jerusalem artichokes, really great for both phase 1, phase 2, and bioproduction. Berries, pomegranate, amla. This may be something you're not familiar with. It's an Indian gooseberry, and you can get it as a powder. It's very good for blood sugar too. Barberry, and then of course you could do teas for the liver: green tea, milk thistle tea, rooibos tea. There's many more food suggestions in the food checklist. This is just to give you a snapshot. The point is that there's lots to choose from, that the client can probably pick enough foods that they like to have enough liver-friendly foods in their diet. Here, dark chocolate, all the bitters for bioproduction, so you can see them all listed there. Essential fatty acid foods like salmon, tuna, herring, sardines, halibut, cod, chia seeds, hemp seeds, flax seeds, and remember, for the seeds, you want your cofactors, which are the vitamins and minerals that help them convert to the form that we need. Okay, we don't need to do that again. And for supplements, milk thistle is probably #1 for liver repair, but I do know some people who react to it or they don't like it. Dandelion, Jerusalem artichoke, it comes as a supplement, so does artichoke. Boldo is a good, usually it's a tincture. Turmeric, rosemary, again, you can get these as supplements. Black seed oil, ginger, reishi mushroom, essential fatty acid supplement, probiotics, liver formulas, depending on where you're at with the cleanse, alpha lipoic acid, chancopedra. It's really good, especially if they have gallbladder issues, because it helps break down gallstones and kidney stones as well as support the liver. Licorice, cumin, and cinnamon. And again, there are probably more, but this gives you a lot to work with. Where did garlic? Garlic just popped up there. So garlic comes as a supplement as well. I would look for a whole garlic supplement as opposed to one that is just the allicin, which is the antimicrobial. So you want a more well-rounded garlic supplement. If someone has gallbladder issues, the best way to fix the gallbladder is to fix the liver and the gut. So you can support the gallbladder while this is being done. This is what I usually do. I put them on digestive enzymes with ox bile. Usually I do one supplement with ox bile and the enzymes. I don't do two supplements. I put them on Chancapedra to help break down stones and support the liver, and milk thistle for liver repair. And of course, ongoing, we'd be working on their diet. We're trying to do other things, but this can often buy enough time that the gallbladder stones break down and they don't need to have the gallbladder surgery. If they've already had their gallbladder removed, I would put them on digestive enzymes with ox bile, and I would look at supporting their liver ongoing because they don't have the gallbladder for the liver to send the bile to for storage, so it puts more stress on the liver. And then the other thing I do is small meals more often. So basically I try to spread out the meals in a way so that there's not a lot of fat in any one meal. Now that doesn't mean you have fat in every meal, so you can still have a snack that is fruit or something that doesn't contain fat. That's fine, but if they still need to get their fat for health purposes, so just spread it out so that it's not so. Usually most people have most of their fat in their evening meal, so just spread it out a little more and make sure you take the digestive enzymes with the ox bile, and it just makes it that much easier for the gallbladder to not secrete too much bile and therefore trigger, a big stone hitting the top of the bile duct and causing all that pain. So there's a lot to choose from when it comes to the liver, and a foundation of good foods can inspire clients to really see how foods can make a difference for them. Many of the foods overlap into other areas needed for hormone balance, which makes it easier for you to help them choose. So maybe you want to feature those when you're talking about helping the liver. You want to supplement as needed. And the liver is quite resilient if given what it needs. So this could be an area that they see the best results in sooner, because unlike gut, which takes time, the liver likes to be taken care of and will pay us back in kind when we give it the right stuff.